on Sunday night, very soon after I finished the transmission, an old associate of mine from the Labour Party contacted me, wanting to know why I had not reported on the suspension of one of Amanda Chaddерton's councillors. I shared with them, I'll use neutral pronouns, I shared with them how I was winding down, to which he said, oh, well, that would be a relief for all of them at headquarters, because what I'd been doing in Oldham for the last 4 or 5 years had been resonating in Labour Party strongholds across, with similar demographics to Oldham across the country, and the party were worried and had been worried for some time, because essentially I'd used a whole host of skills and expertise picked up from them, really. And it wasn't going well for them. But he wanted to know. He wanted to know why. There was he wanted to know why I had not reported on it. So I got the information off him. So I'm just reading some of this, and apparently there's no sound, but thanks, Oldham. You have sound. I have sound on my fancy graphic equalizers to the left of me. My bearings. So he told me what had happened. And this isn't new news, by the way. It's old news. So this cover-up had existed for some time. And remember, this is a council on its knees, neck deep, drowning in corruption. Drowning in corruption. I know I focus on the cover-up of the grooming and gang rape of the town's children, but that's not all. Drowning in corruption. And they've kept it hidden from you. They've kept it hidden from you. Amanda Chaddерton has kept it hidden from you. And of course the Oldham Times knew. And the Oldham Chronicle knew, and the Manchester Evening News knew. In the same way they also knew about Rod Blythe, the Lib Dem councillor convicted for child sex exploitation offences that they all helped hide, aided by Greater Manchester Police. Like they all knew about Shabir Daddy Ahmed, working for Oldham Council, the ringleader of the Rochdale grooming gang, working for Oldham Council for 18 years and selling children from his council-funded position out of the Pakistani Community Centre in Glodick. I'm not naive enough to think I am uncovering things that these people did not know. They know. They knew then. They know now. So, there's this man. He doesn't like me. He doesn't like me at all. His name is Tony Short. Most of you won't have come across Tony Short. He's a Labour Party, I don't know what his official title is, he's a Labour Party campaign manager. Now, the Labour Party, in various guises, employ multiple individuals in Oldham. A couple of them, they're employed through the council. One of them's that Guy Parker. You've come across him. Many of you will have come across him. And then there's that other idiot from Tameside, who's the councillor there. I forget what his name is. He wants to be an MP now in Burnley. Funded by you. I think it's 30-odd thousand pounds last time I looked at each of them a year. Labour Party need them, so you fund them. And they've been hired one after another, essentially to counter what I've been doing for the last 4 years. But that's not enough. Separate to what you pay out of your council tax, they also fund this man called Tony Short. And I'll bring him up here. Maybe. Give me a second. I'm just trying to get this to work. Here you go. This is Tony Short. You can see I blocked him on Twitter because he is extensively abusive to me, because he is the Labour Party campaign manager who's coming under a lot of stress. No, Nicola, let's get that right. No relation to you whatsoever. So Tony Short is funded out of Labour Party councillor subs. So every Labour Party councillor essentially gives £50 or something every month out of their allowance. And Tony Short runs the campaigns, produces the leaflets. And of course, every Labour Party councillor that loses, we take out. And so we're clear before Arood Shah twists it. What I mean by we take out isn't what she might be used to as a consequence of some of the companies she keeps. What we mean by when we take them out, it means we take them out of the ballot box and we defeat them in an election. Tony Short is getting more and more irate. And there's a by-election in Hollingwood. And of course, they've lost safe seat after safe seat as a direct consequence of what we've done. And not just lost safe seat after safe seat. What the demographics show, what the data shows, is that they're losing voters. Even in areas where they're keeping on and hanging on to power, they're losing votes. So there's this guy called Tony Short who works for the council, who works for the Labour Party. That's him there. Weasel of a man. One of those ideological lefties that will cover up, well, he has, cover up anything for the benefit of the party. The party comes first. He's the sort of man Tony Short is. Under immense pressure, councillors are turning on him, because here's a bloke sat in his living room on his own, destroying the Labour Party in Oldham. Graham Shuttleworth is my understanding of the councillor who has been suspended. Now, I can't get to the bottom of it, whether it was fisticuffs with Tony Short or whether he gave him a piece of his mind. But the consequence is Graham Shuttleworth, Councillor Graham Shuttleworth of Chadderton South, has been suspended from the Labour Party. For those of you who don't know what Councillor Shuttleworth looks like, I'll bring it up. This is Councillor Graham Shuttleworth, Labour Party councillor for Chadderton South. Suspended. Apparently he got irate, and Tony Short, being the weasel sort of man he is, went running to the Labour Party complaints team. The consequence is Graham Shuttleworth has now been suspended. I think for bullying. I don't think it was for violence. It's bullying and harassment, I think, is what it's a. But of course, you know, Amanda Chadderton should be issuing a statement, because if a man has been suspended for bullying, harassment, or even worse, swinging punches at someone, and I don't think that last is what's happened. It's just the rumours are now starting to circulate. Amanda Chadderton, the leader of the council, owes the town an explanation. Why has she not issued a statement confirming that one of her most trusted councillors, the heavyweight Graham Shuttleworth, veteran politician who was brought back into the fold because they were struggling to get candidates, has been suspended? Last week she was on about hate crime. In fact, while she was on about hate crime, Sue, she would have known about this news. But these are the people, such as Jim McMahon, that are released on Sunday night, who talk about being the chair of some safeguarding board and how it's everyone's business, child protection, when they are hiding news of the grooming and gang rape of our town's children. So this is Graham Shuttleworth. And tell me if I'm wrong. If I've got it wrong, tell me, Amanda Chadderton. But my understanding is, from Labour Party sources, you're only hearing about this because the newspapers were forced to react and respond to the badminton. You know, that was me playing on, trying to give you a hint, shuttlecock. Nah, never mind. Where's the explanation, Amanda Chadderton? Where is the explanation as to why one of your most senior councillors has been suspended? Why are you not sharing open, honest? You don't even know the meanings of open, honest, or transparent. Will Graham Shuttleworth turn up to the council meeting in November? Maybe someone should ask him. Maybe someone should speak to Tony Short. Tony Short will be relieved, or should be relieved, that I am not campaigning in Hollingwood, by the way. So there was no need for you to get angry with each other. I'm not campaigning in Hollingwood for the by-election. If I had my way, there would be no by-election. There's 4 or 5 months till the next election. It's a complete waste of your money. But it's to get Hannah Roberts in. That's what it's about. It's to get Hannah Roberts in. Will he get a NASB, or does it not apply to them? Indeed. Indeed, John. Now, it gets a bit more sinister. And let me draw some dots. Connect some dots for you. Meanwhile, whilst it's been suspended by the National Labour Party, Arud Shah, the disgraced former leader. Remember, this is the woman who hangs off the arm of a convicted heroin dealer, the getaway driver of an Oldham cop killer. Has been elected as the chair of the UK Labour National Constitutional Committee. For those of you who don't know what that is, the National Constitutional Committee deals with disciplinary cases involving Labour members. So get this right. A councillor, you know, they talk about no mandate and general election now and all that. A councillor that we ousted in this town democratically because we wanted nothing to do with a mobster's moll. The Labour Party then go and appoint her as the chairman of the disciplinary committee, the National Disciplinary Committee. How do you think she'll be disciplining? How do you think she'll be disciplining anti-Semites who speak at rallies where young people are waving Hamas banners? How is a woman who speaks at an anti-Semitic rally encouraging terrorism that the people of the town ousted because they wanted nothing to do with her, end up as chairman of the National Constitutional Committee of the Labour Party? So that's what's gone on. And yes, Gary, Hannah Roberts' seat will be up in May. All the seats are up in May again. And I say Hannah Roberts' seat because I think that's a surefire election win. And yes, mate, Harood Shah has got herself a gig where she's a guest on a panel on how to improve our high streets. Apparently Oldham is a shining example of how to improve our high streets, and Harood Shah is sharing her expertise. What are you going to do? Recommend a chicken shop? Shisha bar? Where to park my Audi A3? I haven't got an Audi A3 before someone, you know, with the neon lights underneath and the subwoofery thing bouncing up and down on the back. A councillor has been suspended and it was kept secret from you. That is the take away from this. A Labour Party councillor has been suspended by the National Party. And his suspension was a consequence of a fallout with the campaign manager, Oldham's Labour Party campaign manager, who can't get a rise out of me. I've just blocked him. His abuse, well, you can understand where he ended up. And now they got angry. And he, whatever his actions were, they've resulted in his suspension. Where is the statement from the leader of Oldham Council? I'll tell you why I think there's not been a statement. It's because she's not in charge. She's not in charge. Yes, there could be that as well. There could be that as well. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Hannah Roberts is going to be a councillor in Hollywood. I think that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you, was who it was, who I led to believe it is. Yeah, so this is the councillor, mate, Hannah Roberts, if you want to have a quick conversation about her. You know, she's from Delft. So the Labour Party lot, who were, remember when Robert Barnes got elected and Graham Shuttleworth and whatever that other idiot's called, Chris Goodwin and Harood Shah, along with, you know, Mr. Rolls-Royce, were complaining that Robert wasn't from South Chadderton. The irony that Arood Shah was nowhere from there was beside the point. Well, Hannah Roberts, who we helped oust in Royton North, she got very angry. Whose son is a councillor, whose husband was a councillor, so it runs in the family. You know, the need to... She has immediately gone in to Jim McMahon. Remember, Kyle Piffian, Jim McMahon's assistant, is the other councillor in Hollywood, that young lad who knows bugger all about anything. Hannah Roberts is campaigning on the national. She won't even know her way around Hollywood. Yeah, they could do that. And that's what they're doing, Harry. They are turning on each other. With the all-outs coming, they are turning on each other. And Hannah Roberts will make a move to be leader of Oldham Council, and that is if Arood Shah doesn't make her move first. And wait until Sunday night when I tell you what has gone on in St. Mary's. And you will be reminded, as if you ever forgot, how this is nothing other than a cartel town. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to all of you who sent me messages. Unfortunately, I didn't get back to some of you as quick as I could because I was driving back from Sandwell. For those of you who remember, Sandwell is historically in the Midlands where the first of the grooming gangs came out. It was Sikh young girls being targeted by Pakistani rape gangs. So I had some meetings in Sandwell this afternoon, so I had to get down there and come back up to do this. So that's, if I didn't respond to you quick enough, my apologies for that. If you find value in these transmissions, there's 8 left. Next one's on Sunday. We wind up at Christmas, and Tony Short then won't have to worry about me. A very good evening. But if you do find value in these transmissions and you're able to, please do buy me a coffee. Take care. Good night.
Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them.